Hello my two-wheel friends, welcome to 2023. It's hard to imagine, but this is January 1st and here in Warsaw there are 14 degrees above zero in Celsius, which means we can have a bike ride. This is really awesome, surprise. But this video will be not about the weather, it will be about this tower. This is an adventure bike, Belgium company tower for 701 and 690 Enduro. I bought it almost 1 year ago exactly, and I've spent the whole 2022 with it. So I believe I'm ready to share my thoughts, and there are some things to talk about. There are some positives, there are some negatives. Let me cover that in just a second. I will stop somewhere here and we will go through it together. Okay, so as promised I have 3 or maybe 4 positives and about 3 negatives. Let me start with the good stuff. So my number one pro tower thing is related to those lights. Actually, it is a little bit on both sides, so one good thing, one bad thing. I think that the low beam light here is amazing compared to the candle thing that you get on the factory bulb. This low beam light is absolutely fantastic. What I cannot say the same thing about the high beam light. I have a video here showing me riding a street with no street lights, and I will be flicking between the low beam and the high beam. You can see that the low beam is really strong ray of light and the stream of light, but the high beam, it has this butterfly kind of effect, shape, and it doesn't do anything good. So I learned not to use the high beam at all. So this is very good quality light on the low beam, bad quality light on the high beam. I have sent the feedback to the producer asking if those two could be working together, because if you can, I will be able to show you that. And this is just the low beam light, but when I turn on the high beam, the low beam goes off, which sucks. If those could be working together, that would probably solve the issue. And I also hate this yellowish light on top when the high beam is off. That's my impression about the light. There are some good things, some bad stuff. Second positive about the tower is the mounting point for the navigation. I also have a clip of how it looks while riding. The navigation and the phone is perfectly in the view when you are riding. I don't have to look down on the handlebar to check my navigation. I also have a very good clip how it looks like, how you have to take your eyes off the road to see what's on your navigation. So this is a safety feature. I like to think about it like that. So I don't have to, look around, look down so often. I can keep my eyes on the road. Good stuff. The third positive is wind protection. As you can see, I have added a little deflector on top. But this, compared to basically no wind protection from the factory, this provides some basic wind protection. Of course, this is not as protective as those big windshields of GSS or any other big adventure bikes. But I took a ride 700 kilometers from Vienna to Warsaw on one day on highways, and that was absolutely okay. So yeah, the weather was good. It was not raining, but this windshield provided the basic protection that I need while having to ride the highway for many kilometers. And the final thing that I will still put this on the positive side is how it looks. It is a very lightweight construction. It doesn't provide any additional plastics or spoilers or deflectors or whatever you call it. This is a lightweight construction and it makes the bike still look light. Those 3 positives, but the appearance part might be the 4th. I like this product. Okay, what sucks about it? There are three things that I don't like. I have already covered the first one. Yeah, the high beam. High beam sucks. So, no bueno. The second thing that I don't like is related to the placement of those indicators for oil pressure and turn signals. It is below the dash, as you can see, and while riding, it is barely visible. I would much more prefer to have those above the dash, and I have also sent the feedback to the producer. He told me that some guys prefer to have this space to install some other gadgets, some other, you know, navigations or whatnot. So they have placed it below the dash, but this makes it really not in your sight area. I also have a clip about that you have to almost, you know, turn back on your seat to take a look at it if your turn signal is off or not. Of course, I also learned to observe indicators, but I think it would be much better for me to have it on top. And the last part that I don't like, and you can also see it here, is that basically the tower came with a very little instruction on how to install it properly. So together with my friend Kuba, we've been struggling with it a bit, and probably I made a mistake here, and also I'll show you that on the other side. It is also cracked there. There are no torque values provided in the manual for any of those mounting elements. So you have to do it with a common sense. That works in most cases, but I think I have put too much force on those, and it made the windshield crack on both sides. Interestingly, it happened on a highway. So I was riding a highway and I've heard a crack, and then I noticed on both sides there was probably too much tension on it. It could be done a bit better, as there is a rubber inside. I don't know if you can see it here. All the screws are mounted on the rubber, but the rubber is on the bracket itself. It would be better if it would go through the windshield itself, and then it probably would reduce some of the vibrations and tensions. But anyway, little instruction that I have received probably caused this on both ends. Of course, I had some issues with the blinkers. I have covered that in a different video. But then we cut out a bit of the windshield. We have 3D printed some spacers. But this is all related to the fact that I have bought it in the pre-release version. I have also sent the feedback about those 2021 blinkers, and I believe it was already addressed, so it would not be issue for you if you would buy this tower now. So just to sum up the negatives, really poor high beam, not a very lucky placement of those indicators, and some lack of instruction on how to mount it properly caused my mistake of torquing this with too much force. So 3 things. Would I buy this again, and what are the alternatives? In this price range, and I bought it for about 700 euro in pre-sale. Now it's around 950 with ECE approved lights, so these are road legal. You can also get it with off-road lights, but if you have to go through some kind of inspections in your country, that might be an issue. So I have chosen the road legal lights, and this is now about 950 euros, if I remember correctly. So in regards to budget towers, this is probably still one of the best products as far as I know. There are some alternatives showing up on the market now. The Aurora made a very similarly looking lightweight version of a tower, but it is almost twice as expensive as this one. So a lot of money. All the other towers are much more expensive. We are talking about $1,800 and euros and above, of course. Almost the sky is the limit. But for me, having all those positives in mind, I would still buy it. Maybe only even because of the safety features. First of all, having the navigation much higher, but also the windshield put away from me. So I don't know if you have seen my video when I tried to have a Puig windshield here on the bike. and in the first day in off-road it hit me in the helmet. I quickly took it off, and I was looking for some other solutions that would provide more safety also for my nose and forehead, and so on and so on. Okay, so I believe this is about that. This is my 1 year owner's review of the tower from Adventure Bike PE. Cool product, good quality, nothing has broken except for the windshield. That's probably my fault. If you have found this useful, please give it a thumbs up below. I would really appreciate that. You might also want to consider subscribing, as this channel is all about motorcycling adventures. More content coming soon, and we have some good plans for 2023. So again, Happy New Year, all the best for your upcoming adventures and all of your motorcycle rides. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Cheers, bye.